Hey, what's up? It's Whistle, and welcome back to another video of Timberborn. In the last episode of Timberborn, we continued construction on our dam, as well as basically expanded our second little colony. So we're gonna just zoom out a little bit, I guess, and kind of go over some of that in case you guys missed it. If you haven't seen the video, go ahead and check it out. The playlist will be at the end of the video, and hopefully, if I remember, it will wind up going up here on one of these little cards. So this is the little city we have built. City's probably not the right word. The little hideout, I guess. So currently there are, let me put this back up. There are 2 lodges. I have another 2 on tabs for being built. We also built a farmhouse as well as a lumberjack over here. So I did a couple things in between episodes as well. So I waited a little bit just to get this bottom layer finished up. So at least water now is going to fill up 1 level higher, so we can start doing that. Because that'll help us in the dry season once we get going. I also just expanded the tree plantation area as well from our forester, not lumberjack, I apologize. But yeah, so from our forester, I expanded that a little bit. So all of this is going to turn into logs, and theoretically, this should never wind up going to a lower level than what it's at right now. So all of these should stay alive throughout the dry seasons. The other thing that I did is I made this pretty large field of carrots. I do want to turn this into a self-sustainable little colony over here. So I think just this many carrots is going to be okay. I will need to do water at some point as well. But that is probably going to be something where I'll just put it up on top of the dam and have it do that. Or maybe even straight off of here. But at any rate, I don't mind bringing water in because we have a crap ton of water potential from our other colony. But food, if I can just get these guys on even just carrots, that will be helpful. And then we are still waiting on the levee, but this reservoir will be fully built by the end of this video. You can mark my words on that. We're not going to drag this one out any longer, because I don't even know how many videos it's been at this point, but it feels like kind of all of them, because I saw this on like the 3rd episode. So yeah, we don't have much going on in terms of building in the main section, and that is primarily because I want to make sure all of the wood is going over here to this colony, so that way we can build the dam. I did, however, in the last video also get the explosives factory up and producing a whole bunch of stuff. So if I turn off the water here, you're going to see all of this is dynamite. So with the dynamite, we are going to be able to go ahead and, once this is filled in, just blow up this entire bottom layer here. And it's going to make this whole little canal system just 1 tile deeper, which is fantastic. And you can see with the with this river being totally blocked off now, that the pine trees in here are not having a good time. So I think something I might wind up doing in order to just kind of rectify that for the future is I'm going to delete this dam, I think, and this will short-term wind up costing us some resources and maybe even a little bit of water. Yeah, we see it pouring over there. So let me just pause the game. And we're gonna, with all of our 1700 science points, there are floodgates. So there are 3 different levels of the floodgate. There's a single, a double, and a triple. I'm gonna just go ahead and unlock all 3 of them right now. And basically what they do, we'll do the double. So they function similar to a dam, except you can set the height on them. So if I have them like that, if I ever need to, that's probably not actually a good spot for it. Now that I'm thinking about it, I should probably put it over here. That would be more intelligent. Okay, so we're gonna just pretend that that didn't happen. Put this dam in, and why not just make it this one, I guess? Yeah, we'll make it this one. So, anyway, you can adjust the height of the water that is, behind it. So, oh crap, I didn't want to do that because I need to build that still. We're having a good time. We're having a good time. So we'll just waste some logs, I guess. Build a little levee up. And they should still be able to reach over here. We'll just set this to a high priority. get these done, get that done. Cool. Because I don't want to spill out too much water, because I want the water to start rising up. But as I keep trying to say, you can adjust the height of these floodgates. So the triple floodgate, you can adjust it anywhere from 0 meters high all the way to 2 meters high in increments of half a meter. So it is really nice for controlling the height. And then I can make sure that water winds up flowing over, at least in the short term. And now that I'm actually voicing that out loud, I do have all these dams here, and this is where the water is going to come out at these few dams. So disregard all of that destruction I did for absolutely no reason. We're just going to pretend it didn't happen in like 5 minutes, and that's how we're going to roll. Yeah, so yeah, we can pretend that it didn't happen, right? Nobody has to know except us. Okay, cool. So yeah, once those wind up getting done, we'll be back to where we were. I don't want to unlock the middle platform. Okay, and I'm just going to look through real quick here and make sure I have all of the stuff that I want unlocked. How's my paper? I do have 550 paper. So this is, the beehive is worthwhile probably as well. I have enough science points for it, so we're going to unlock it. So I know I talked about this in a previous video, I forget which one, but the beehive functions in a way that it will increase the growth of nearby crops. So if you space these out appropriately, which I clearly haven't set up these fields in order to be efficient, because, you know, why would I? But if I set them up in a way where, like, for example, this here, right? If I build one there, it's going to get all of this area, and then I can put another one. Maybe right here would probably be okay. We're going to just mark that real quick for demolition, and that should get this. Again, it's not going to be super efficient. As the game progresses and I get more resources, I can start setting up my farms around these, so that way we get the maximum yield out of them. But just placing a couple of them down here and there is probably good anyway. And especially with the farmhouses we have, I don't want to do too much, because we do have a lot of farmland and only the 4 farmers. Which I suppose, seeing as all these are full now, maybe might be worth it. Yeah, because we're losing some beavers. So it might be potentially worth it to put a 3rd one in, but I don't know, because, or yeah, a 5th one, not a 3rd. I cannot count. But I remember these were doing okay, so I guess we'll just keep an eye on that and see how that goes. But I am excited to blow up all of this here. And the way dynamite works, I guess let me do a quick little demonstration somewhere where I was already planning on demolishing. So I was thinking about just doing this real quick, just to fill up this pool, just for a little bit of extra water. So the way dynamite works, it will blow up the block that is directly underneath it. It does not have any kind of blast radius, so if I put a piece of dynamite, say here where my mouse cursor is, it's not going to blow up all of the blocks around it. It just does directly below. But it does also work in a way where if I have this one dynamite here, then if I put a second one adjacent to it, which you guys will see once I blow up all of this, it'll just kind of put in a chain reaction. And it's pretty fun to watch, not gonna lie. So yeah, we'll give them a minute, I guess, to get the dynamite ready to go, and then we'll be good. We do have 500 paper as well, which is the resource for dynamite. So that'll just kind of keep on churning once we get a beaver employed there, I suppose. And now that I have my food situation kind of taken care of, and I don't have to worry about the other colony, we're gonna go ahead and unpause this triple lodge, so that should get built quickly as well. Cool. Things are happening. I'm really happy with how the city is turning out. And as I talked about in the last video, I do want to make my next really big project, putting a dam and a little aqueduct all the way across here. I guess not so little, because it's going to take a whole bunch of levees in order to make this work. So yeah, it's going to be a good time. It's going to take a lot of resources. It's going to take a very long time, but that can just kind of be a passive project while we have nothing else going on. And especially once I get all of the wood from over here. Oh man, we're almost done. But yeah, once I get the wood from over here started, that's just going to speed us up even more. Because this is going to be a ton of wood we have coming in. And to be honest, I don't really plan on doing all that much over here, at least not right now. I'm sure at some point once I have a surplus of dynamite, I'll put in a couple rivers or something like underneath the path, turn it all fertile, and do that. But for right now, this is just going to kind of be some extra resources for our main area. And otherwise just being a little self-sufficient and not working on a whole bunch of stuff. Because I don't want to overwhelm what we are able to do. And everything is going good. I do have 9 children at the moment. It looks like we had a little death wave not too long ago. Which probably just old age if I had to guess. So that's not the end of the world. And let me go ahead and pause these because I don't need anybody trying to work in those. Cool. Alright, yes, and our dam is back to where it was before I destroyed 2 bits of it for absolutely no reason. Because you can't walk across the floodgate. So the dam you can walk across, it's a flat surface, but the floodgate, if I pull one up here, it's not going to let me. But if I put it, you can see that little pointy bit up at the top. Come on. The beavers cannot walk on that. So if I place it, it has to be in a spot where I am okay with them not being able to cross. And to be honest, I'm not too sure. I'm never going to want to do something over here. I know I would probably need another district over here for that, because the only thing I could really think of would be like putting a dam here, just to increase some water levels, but I would need a way to get the beavers over there. So yeah, just kind of future thought. And this is done as well, so let's get that in here. Cool. And again, that's just getting most of this area here. I think I'll also just place one right there. We have a little bit of wiggle room here. I know that is partially on the path, but that's not the end of the world. We're just going to place them down as we can. But you can even see the little bees just buzzing around, presumably going off and pollinating the flowers that are on these plants, just to help them grow quicker. And water reservoirs are all done as well. So once we get our huge, massive reservoir totally filled up and all of these pumps running, which hopefully will be soon, we're going to have so much water. Alright, and all of these beavers are ancient. Nobody is having babies. Okay. So that's fine. And then, yeah, again, with the dynamite, once we wind up getting enough of it, I definitely want to put water under all of these pathways, at least in the main little plateau here. I'm not really going to worry about putting water under like this one, but probably like a straight connection down to here, over to here, maybe, and then maybe over to here as well, just so we, like, all of this turns green and we can just get some more resource out of it. Otherwise, how are we with storage? I haven't looked at that in a while. Let's see. So our main storage area is actually starting to fill up, mostly with food, it looks like, I think. Let's see. I guess that is... yeah, that's probably primarily food. So, why don't we... yeah, with the resources we have, let's go ahead and put one of these down. I think realistically our best option for this is probably just going to be right here. So that way all of our storage is in the same area. It's not perfect, I don't think, but it's probably about as good as I have right now. Because over here doesn't make sense, but this land is pretty good because I'm not going to use it for much. And then, you know, same kind of thing over here. It doesn't really make sense to have all that over here because the haulers will have to move it. So I think if I just get enough haulers going, kind of in the center of the city, they'll be able to spread stuff around as they need to. But keeping all of our storage near the resources are going to be the important thing, I think, at the moment. All right, and we are low on wood, but that's fine. How are these trees doing? Let's see, 24%. Let's click on a couple of them here. Oops, come on. So the first batch is already at 50%, so that's awesome. And it looks like we also built the small warehouse, so yeah, things are looking up. I'm thinking about also just putting in, with what I was saying about the water pumps, and just for sake of keeping these guys slightly self-sufficient rather, we are going to put a set of stairs onto that. And then we'll build a platform. It's probably, at least just for right now, just a couple wells over here. I don't need to go super crazy, because if I need to, I can always just bring in some extra water. But I think 2 wells will be more than enough with the population we're going to wind up over here, because we only have space for 12. So I think we should be fine with that. So we'll do the stairs, and then we will get going on putting some platforms down. Yeah, maybe just right there. And I guess I could just do 2 right next to each other. Cool, so that'll hold 2 of them with a little pathway. Nice, and then the that will be at the water line. The water should theoretically never go higher than this, so we don't have to worry about them becoming inoperable at any point. And everything else should be good. And I'm going to be really upset if I missed any tiny little piece of land where the water is actually going to start scooting up, but I think we're good. I hope, because I don't want to have to go through that heartbreak again, thinking we are done, and we're not, because that's happened a billion times so far. And I, for one, do not like it. So, also thinking about stuff, I'm gonna just open these back up, I think. Yeah, that should be fine. And then, why don't I just go ahead and open both of these up as well. They will start building. We should be good, because we have, yeah, about 3,000 food in here, 1,200 water, but again, hopefully by the dry season, we should be done with the dam, knock on wood, and we should be able to maintain a whole bunch of water. And you can already see the water level is already about half a block higher than the base of our little dam over here. So that's good. That means we're doing a good job. Autosave. This is just a whole massive amount of water in this reservoir. So these source blocks will only put out a certain amount of water. And I only have, let's see, 5 of them? Yeah. So there's only 5 of them to fill this entire area. So it will take a very, very long time for it to fill up. But that is okay. And then once the dry seasons start coming in, especially when they're longer, we may wind up spending the majority of the wet season just kind of replenishing this. So I am going to be a little hesitant putting something downstream over here that is going to need... Oop, let me get to this side so you guys can see. But over on this stream that needs water. So like, I don't want to put a farm over here. One, because it's probably going to wind up flooding with this dam we have that way. But 2, I don't know that it's going to get consistent enough water for that to work. So just some food for thought on that. And is there anything else that needs to get done at the moment? I don't think so. We have 915 science, so I guess let's just keep exploring if there's anything else. Grist mill and a bakery might not be a bad idea. Let's just see what else we have. Printing press, that's going to be fine for right now. I could upgrade all of these to large warehouses, or large windmills. I don't know where I saw a warehouse there. Do I have the resources for that? Oh, that also takes 1,400 science, so I guess that's not happening quite yet. And otherwise, you know what, let me go ahead and probably get a beaver statue in. Let me just see what that does real quick. Working speed plus 5%, and that costs 50 wood and 10 planks. Sure, let's go ahead and do that. So this is going to work similarly to this big statue and this right here. The beavers just have to pass through these for a small amount of time in order to get the bonus. So seeing as, you know, 80-90% of our housing is down here, if I just go ahead and plop that right there, anytime they are coming home or leaving, they're going to get this. Obviously, that's not going to help these guys up here. I guess I could probably just put another one. Yeah, we'll do another one right there. And then all of our beavers in this section will be good. And I'll probably wind up, just because it's relatively cheap, I'll probably put another one over here. You know, maybe right in that spot right there. Or maybe I'll just delete this, put another house there. But at any rate, I'll get another one over here just so we can get that on this side of things as well. And why are we not... Dang it. Okay, we're going to have to just path this up real quick. Which is fine. Cool. So that should get all of them. And then we'll get going on these stairs and everything. But that should mean that our dam is finally done. Because I think this is just... no water's going to get through these cracks. There's just a little visual bug. Which I don't know if it's still in the game. But it would show where the water was like in this corner. And I didn't really like looking at it. So just putting another layer in here will help us out immensely with that. Oh, we're paused. We have been paused the whole time I've been talking. I'm so sorry, guys. Alright. So, I don't know how long I was paused there, but I could have been doing stuff. So we're going to just go on 3 times to speed it up a little bit. And we are already done with the warehouse. Oh my goodness. Okay. So yeah, this is just going to be general storage. I don't really want to block this off for anything specific. But down the road, I might wind up doing, you know, one of these for food, one of these for other stuff. Food tends to fill up quick. I have played some playthroughs where I wind up with like 15,000, 16,000 food with enough storage. Which probably means I could just get more beavers and build my city up. But yeah, I just wind up with a lot of food. I like having security and making sure we have enough of stuff in order to make it work. And with the height of the reservoir, I'm almost thinking it might be worth it to, as I talked about in previous episodes, just go ahead and dynamite all of this down 1 level. So that way these are all going to be the same level as our little water island over here. So I guess why don't we go ahead and start doing that. At least slowly. So we'll delete, yeah, 3 or 4 of these. Just like that. And we will, oops, come on. We will set this to dynamite. Get this whole little chunk here. We'll get that. And we'll get that. That will also mean we will need stairs to reach those, but that's fine because I can just put a pathway down 1 lower. Just really need stairs here and here. And probably over here as well. So, we'll make it work. How is the dynamite thing going? Not particularly great. I want it to be faster. Let's see. So right now we're supplying 1,300 power and we're using 1,000, so that's fine. Productivity is relatively high. Okay, so it should be good. Dynamite just takes a little bit to make sometimes, so that's fine with me. Can I put a little platform? No, I can't. Because I have this 1 piece of dynamite here that I want to get rid of and place, but that ain't happening. Oh, this is done. So let me show you guys the dynamite. Slow it down to 1 time speed. I need this up. And we're just gonna go ahead and hit detonate. It goes boom. And we'll fill up this little reservoir for us. Not that I'm really gonna use this for all that much, but it is just some extra water storage. So just to kind of help keep things a little bit greener, at least in the general area. And I could even realistically put a water pump in here if I needed to, but I have so much darn water going over here, I don't think that that is going to be a problem for us. So we're going to check back over on these beavers over here. We have 2 more blocks to build. One of them is already halfway done, And then there's this. How are our trees? 70%. Okay. So I'm probably going to wait until we are a little bit closer to, I don't know, maybe half of these being built, or not built, grown, in order to put down a lumberjack flag. Because I don't want to waste a worker on a lumberjack flag if there's only a few trees. So I know that will hurt the short-term efficiency of what I'm trying to do, but I think long-term it will end up kind of sorting itself out. Why don't we have any... Okay, so this is telling me we could probably use one more house over here. So let's go ahead and just pop that there. Because we don't have anyone working the farmhouse. Everybody is a builder currently. Which is fine, we need the builders to, you know, build things, obviously. But thinking I may just, if I knock that down to 2, they should wind up not going into here. Where did they go? Oh, they went to this builder side. Right. Cool. So, I didn't think I had any open jobs. Okay. At any rate, we have one person working the farmhouse now. So that's fine. Oh, you haven't left yet. Okay. I don't think they wind up leaving their current job until they're done with whatever task they're working on. So right now we're working on carrying wood. So that's why, especially the builders sometimes will take a little bit of time in order to leave the job. And yeah. So our platforms are starting by the looks of it. And that will just, again, get us some water security over here. We don't really have enough gears to send them over, so we'll just put down... Where do I want to put them? I guess we could do here. Nice little row. 5 of them should be more than enough, especially with this extra backup we have up here. And we have a drought coming in 3 days, so we will see how this reservoir holds up during the drought. Because we have all of our pumps are pumping, and the water level, again, it's not crazy stupid high, but before we were like just barely getting it, but now at least we're in there a little bit, so that should hold for most of the wet season, I would imagine, or the dry season. I keep on saying the wrong thing. And with the dry season coming in, when there is like maybe a day left, I'm gonna just blow up all of the dynamite that we have. And I understand that there's going to be some dynamite we cannot place, which is totally fine with me. But I want to get this down just one level, so that way at least we have just some extra water storage up here. And then I may wind up putting like a platform. Let me show you. So I may wind up putting a platform over here, use that as a bridge, and turn this into some of the floodgates, like a 2-level deep floodgate or something, so that way I can control water flow down here. So should I need to do this, like if it's a super long drought and this stuff starts drying out, I can just lower the floodgate level and get some water down to the bottom to help save some crops. So might be a worthwhile investment, but I will think on it. We have all of our beavers going to work. Our water storage is not quite what I want it to be, unfortunately. But I think that will wind up getting solved through the dry season, because again, we're going to be able to pump through most of it. So I think we should be okay, because we're still, it looks like net positive on the water. Let me actually see. Yeah, there's about 1,400 water, so we should be good. And I think with all of the... Let's see. All the resources that we have, I think it is time for us to build our first bridge. The bridge I'm thinking about is going to go probably right here. So I got to first figure out how many tiles that is. What is that? 5? 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. So it's going to span 5. So there is a 5x1 bridge, but that takes metal. And I know I have 100 metal up here, but I don't want to use that quite yet because metal is pretty hard to come by. So I think I'm going to pause the game super quick. And I guess let me just blow up this dynamite before I forget. And Do I want to start on one of the sides? We'll start in the middle. And I think we'll wait till daylight. But I'll keep talking about my idea. So if I put a bridge over there, that will mean that our industry and our water are going to be connected, so it will be quicker for them to wind up getting water. They're not going to have to walk all the way from here all the way over here to get water, and especially once I get these pumps built, I want to have a nice quicker way for them to get over. That will also potentially mean it might be quicker for them to go to work by doing something like this path here, crossing the bridge, going over here. So it may wind up giving us a few extra tiles to work with. But now that it is daylight, we're going to set this to 1x speed, and we are going to hit detonate and just watch it. Look at that. The animation is awesome. We stopped over there because the bridge. And we'll just clean up these last few pieces and get this chunk over here. And since I have to place this dynamite anyway, I may as well just go ahead and stop thinking and start doing on this little platform. So the platforms themselves will not block any water, but the floodgate that I'm going to put behind it definitely will. And I know at some point I'm going to want to get rid of these little sticky up pieces of land here. That was a real technical term. And, you know, delete the bridge under here and have that all be the same level. But that can be a future whistle problem. And let's get rid of this as well. Cool. So with the reservoir, we should be good. Oh yeah, that's creeping up a little bit. Again, it is a massive amount of water that we're storing in here, so it's going to take quite a long time for it to actually fill up. But we do also have our first water pump over here ready to go. Let's go ahead and get that started. And how are we on wood? We have about 100 wood, so we should be fine. Let's set this to a higher priority, and then we'll get that next. Cool. So we are 0.8 days away from the dry season. And I think once the dry season hits, I'll probably wind up ending the video. So at this point, we're just kind of waiting. And once we're done with, with this video, we will get into our next project. I'm not positive it will be this, but this is what I am looking for. It will be quite the engineering feat in order to make it work, because I'll have to start cutting down these trees, get away down there, but I'm excited. And it's going to start probably just with one dam, and then I have to build... So I basically have to build 3 dams. So I have to build a structure. I'll build it way out here where it cannot be touched. But let's say I build it here, right? So I have to build something like this. Except obviously much, much taller. But throughout the whole way. So I'm going to have to build basically that. The other option that I have is I could leave this totally hollow in the middle. Which would obviously save us a ton of resources. But it will mean it will take a lot longer to fill up. So just a couple things to kind of think about for me in between videos as far as how I want to do that. But unless I think of anything else, that's probably going to wind up being what we do. So let's delete that real quick, so that way if we make it over here, the beavers are not confused. Cool. And yeah, we have a 7-day dry season coming. Beehives look like they're working. I think this field is kind of growing a little bit quicker than this. I've been keeping an eye on it. I'm not sure what the actual speed difference is. I'm sure there's a number behind it. But yeah, otherwise, our dam is finished. Look at that. It only took like 1 billion episodes to get these wood blocks placed. But, you know, I digress. That's not important right now. We did it, and that's what matters. So thank you, everybody, so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Let's find a beaver. Who do we want to watch? You work at the forester. That's probably boring. You're a builder. Okay. So go ahead. We'll watch our little friend running. Okay, so yeah, so thank you again so much for watching. If you liked the video, drop a like, and if you like what I'm doing here, consider subscribing. Both of those let me know you guys like what I am putting out in terms of content. Leave your comments down below if you have any. We can chat down there. If you want to tell me all the awful things that I did wrong to these beavers, or awful things I'm doing wrong to you guys in terms of the video quality, let me know. I will answer all of the comments I get. So I hope all of you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are at. And as always, remember to do something kind.